Marriage isn't the problem, children might be. Not necessarily the children themselves, but the decision to have a child in a recession. Will the birth rate plummet as the economy retreats? It did in previous recessions, severe ones especially. Let me introduce an expert on the economics of fertility. Adryenn Ashley is the author of Every Single Girl's Guide to Her Future Husband's Last Divorce. Another extremely odd title for a book there, Ashley, but Adryenn, rather, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. And now my first question is very simple. Do you think that the decision to have children is primarily a financial decision?
Well, I think it's primarily an emotional decision, but people should think of the financial aspect of it. That's where I think that people are going to run into problems, because the #1 reason for divorce is financial stress. If you have more kids, you're going to add more debt, you're going to have more obligations. That could lead to trouble down the road.
Are you forecasting a decline in the birth rate? Because, I mean, I'm not joking here. I mean, we are in a severe recession. The birth rate did fall off a cliff in the 1930s because of the Depression. Are you forecasting the same thing now?
Yeah, but that was a 25%. No, that was a 25% unemployment rate. We're probably not going to top 15. So the difference is significant between the Great Depression and now. And the difference now, I think, is that people have relied on credit. We've seen all of these major upticks in the stock market. There's always been a lot of surplus. And you've got people who just don't really understand the idea of sacrifice. So I don't think there's going to be people sacrificing having children, even if they should.
You know, I'm from Europe, and we've got a chronically low fertility rate in Europe, to the point where every single European country is below population replacement rate in terms of fertility. In America, we've got a fertility rate of about equal, where we're not gaining a population, not losing population because of fertility. What are you forecasting for America in terms of population growth, absent immigration, just in terms of fertility?
In terms of fertility, I mean, I think we're probably going to stay on par. Everybody's got that dream. They want a house and 2 kids and a dog, and I don't think they're going to give up that dream.
But, you know, look, if you sit down and you make a financial calculation, can we afford to have children? The answer is always going to be no. It's always going to be no, well, because, you know, you look into the future.
But the solution is to make more money.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, if
they need to make more money. That's the problem, is people are sitting there, they're looking at the stock market, and they're getting into this fear mode, and they're freezing, and they're going, well, somebody's going to save me, the government's going to save me, somebody's going to bail me out, eventually something will happen, and then I can do whatever I want to do. That's not the way you do it. You have to go out, find out what is your special talent, and go make more money. That's the only way that people are going to be able to have more kids and afford them.
No, you've got to ignore money. No, you do. You really do. You've got to be an optimist. You've got to say, look, life is good. I'm going to procreate. This is a wonderful country. Get on with it. If you start making a calculation,
but you have to plan.
You're dead. It's not going to work.
But you have to plan. You have to be responsible, and you have to plan. You have to say, how am I going to afford this kid? Yes, you're going to have one. I say, great, be an optimist. Have them. But make sure that you can figure out how you're going to afford orthodontics, how you're going to afford private school, because don't get me started on the school system.
Yeah, but you will always say,
there's a lot of things you have to pay for.
Come on, Adryenn, you will always say, I can't afford it. How can I possibly afford an orthodontist bill of $1,000? You will say that. Every single time you will say that. And it's no good telling me that you should have a plan.
And you'll go out, and you'll make the money, and you'll find it, and you'll get it done, because you're not going to let your kid go through life having crooked teeth. You're just not.
I'm an Englishman. Let's not talk about teeth, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. But, I mean, my point is, yes, people are going to have kids regardless of the economy. And, you know, and in America, you know, if you're a man, you don't actually have a whole lot of say in the matter. So, you know, you could be having kids whether you want them or not. But you really should think about and have those difficult discussions ahead of time. How are we going to do it? Not are we. If you really want kids, have kids. If there's no biological impediment, have them. But make sure you can afford them, because I got to tell you, there's no safety net for the middle class. None.
Adryenn, full disclosure, I have 6 children, and secondly, this was the most intriguing interview that I've done this week. And I thank you very much indeed for being with us, Adryenn Ashley. It's a pleasure. If you're not careful, you'll come back. Okay.
I would love to come back.
Thank you, Adryenn. We do appreciate it, seriously. All right.